Hello and welcome to another video on Pidini, doing stuff and filming it. Now with a tablecloth. Yeah, going up in the world now. Yeah. Now, I have received another letter today. Let's have a look. Look at this. Yeah, now, no prizes for guessing who this is from. The legal occupier it's addressed to. Brown envelope this time. We had a red one last time. On the back we have customary Darlington return address. Will you be in on the 10th of November? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a talentless YouTuber with no friends, so probably. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's open it up, have a look, shall we? Even using my fancy Swiss letter opener for this one. Look at that. Yep, there it is. As we expected, it's another TV licensing letter. Now, as I was covering up my address, and someone on the interweb said I should cover up these reference numbers as well, so I've done that on this occasion. Now, as I was covering those up, I thought, this is exactly the same letter as before. Now, watching the other video back, link will be in the description, it's actually not, it's actually very different, but it's just that a lot of what the crap that they're saying on here is the same, so that's what led me to think that this was just the same letter again. But it's not, so we're going to go through it in detail. So, starting at the top, it's the same rubbish, legal occupier, and then my address, which I've covered up, and then a reference number, again, I've covered it up. Interestingly, it is actually the same reference number as the last letter, though, so, yeah, they do at least have some consistency. Then we've got these weird QR codes, 2 lines and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's all just the same crap. I don't know why they're putting legal occupier. They should have my details. I did give them to them once. I did used to declare that I don't need a license. I just gave up when it didn't seem to do anything. It didn't seem to stop the letters, so I just stopped talking to them, but whatever. Will you be in on the 10th of November? Again, I don't fucking know. Maybe. It's a Thursday, so I'll probably be working, so I'll be in. I work from home, but I'm not answering the fucking door to them, so... But, yeah. As there is no record of a TV licence at your address, you should expect a visit from an enforcement officer. Well, it's been, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years, and he still ain't come round, so, yeah, I'm not expecting one anytime soon. It may be on 10th of November. That really should say the 10th of November. This is doing my nutting, so... whoop, making a mess. And I'll put it in there as well. Can't remember the last time I used a pen. I use a keyboard all day, every day. Maybe on the 10th of no, oh, fuck it, I don't care. Or on another day. Yeah, because you're not coming, so whatever. If you are caught watching or recording live TV on any channel or device, you could face a fine of up to £1,000 plus any legal costs and or compensation you may be ordered to pay. The same applies if you are caught downloading or watching BBC programmes on iPlayer. Are there any other sort of programmes on iPlayer? Oh, whatever. So, anyway, we'll come back to what all this means, but we'll just have a quick read. We visit around 5,000 addresses a day with a little qualifying mark here. We'll come back to that. Our officers visit an address every 10 seconds, day, evening, even weekends, and if no one answers, they can come back. Well, if you do, I'm not going to answer then either. Whatever. Stop a visit before it's too late. Too late for what? Anyway. Buy a TV licensing at tvlicensing.co.uk/pay, with payments starting from £6 a week. Someone did quite helpfully point out, actually, and I missed this on the last video, £6 a week for a whole year is a hell of a lot more than what the actual TV licence costs. I mean, yeah, if you're doing... I mean, I haven't looked into it, but assuming it's 52 weeks a year, that's £312 a year. The licence fee is not that much if you pay it in one go. In fact, I think... Does it say on the back here? No, it doesn't actually say how much a TV license is. I'll look it up and it can go across the screen like now. But it's like double if you're paying it weekly, which is just obscene. I'm going to go look on the website. We'll tag it onto the end of this video. See if you do pay £6.52 weeks a year, or if you pay it over like 6 months or something like that. But I mean, even that's 26 weeks. That's 156 quid. It might be over 6 months. I don't know. We'll look it up. But yeah, if that is across the whole year, that is obscene. You know, that's like 100% interest or more. So fuck off. Anyway, or move an existing license to your current address, tvlicensing.co.uk/moving, no. Or tell us you don't need one at tvlicensing.co.uk/no-tv, which I have done. I have done that twice for them, and it still doesn't work. This is why I'm now getting these letters. Well, actually, no, I tell you, I was getting the letters whether I told them or not, so that's why I stopped telling them, so fuck off. For help with any of the above, please call that number or turn over for more information. Don't call them. Don't call them. No, never call them. No, nope, nope, nope. If you do not do any of the above, you can expect a visit soon. Can I really? And then we've got yours faithfully, Scott Robson, Enforcement Manager, Cambridge, which is not my nearest town, but, you know, whatever. Should be a full stop there as well. And then we've got this this signature, which is in blue to make it look like it's been written on, but of course it hasn't. And then you've got this stamp here, which I believe appeared on the other one as well. You know, it's meant to look like someone stamped it, visit approved, and signed it, and it's a little bit worn out around the corners here to make it look real. It's not, it's just laser printed on. Alright, so let's break this down. So, I mean, we're here at the bottom anyway, so we've got this little qualifying mark here. This is based on average annual visits, so this is the 5,000 addresses a day. Based on average annual visits made between 2019 and 2022, excluding 2020, and available working hours in a week. So, right, okay, so, yeah, I get excluding 2020 because they weren't allowed to do visits for most of that year. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, available working hours in a week, so... yeah, all right, whatever. Alright, that's perfectly fine. They're telling you how they've worked out that, whatever. Can't really hold that against them. That is a perfectly reasonable way of working that figure out. So, let's break this down, what this all means. So, will you be in on the 10th of November? They're putting a date on it. Again, these letters are all about intimidation. This is what really fucks me off about these. If it was just, you know, a reminder letter once a year or once every 6 months or even once a quarter, like your water bill, you know, remind you that you're being charged in order to stay alive by your water company. It wouldn't be so bad, but it's the intimidation that goes with it. That really fucks me off. So, yeah, they're putting a date on it. We're sending the boys around on this day. Will you be in? If you're not in, you know, you've got no one there, what are they going to do to your house? If you are in, they're going to be coming for you. And it's all, fuck off. As there is no record of a TV licence at your institute, you should expect a visit from the boys. We're sending them round. You know, enforcement officer. Salesman. It may be on the 10th of November or any other day. Now, those of us that have been getting these letters for so long, and we know the score with TV licensing. We know that, you know, they say on any other day because they're not coming on the 10th of November. In fact, they're probably not coming at all. But if the intimidation is working, 10th of November or any other day, so I just picture some little old lady living in absolute fear of someone coming around either on that day or any point day or night. She gets a knock at the door. There could be TV licensing sending the boys around. Fucking hell. If you are caught, if we catch you, if we're out to get you, and if we catch you watching or recording live TV on any channel or device, you could face a fine of up to £1,000 plus any legal costs and or compensation you may be ordered to pay.
$1 million.
Again, they're putting, that's the maximum allowable by law, is that £1,000. And then, yeah, legal cost compensation. I think what they're referring to there is you get this, like, victim surcharge that seems to be tagged on whenever the courts do anything nowadays. I have mixed feelings about victim surcharges. Mostly that they're just a load of bollocks, but whatever. They're a political tool to make things look good, make politicians look like they're doing something about crime, whatever. Now, I've looked into this before, and I think I said this in the last video as well, because these letters are quite repetitive, and they then force me to be repetitive. That £1,000 fine is almost never handed out. I read, it was a report from a journalist that went along to one of these court days, and you go into a magistrate's court, and there might be like 30-odd people a day that they're just churning through, and they've all got, and something like the average fine handed out was like 70 quid. Some of them were like 20 or 30 quid. It's never £1,000. And that's probably because if you need a TV licence, but you aren't or can't paying for one, chances are you can't afford £1,000. You know, so they're not going to fine you that much. It's just not going to happen. And I think the courts just don't really give that much of a toss either. You know, there are murderers out there. So, yeah, they never hand that out. And then legal costs and compensation, they're just trying to add to that, like it's going to be some massively crippling amount. It's going to be thousands of pounds.
$100 billion.
It won't be. If court, you may be ordered to pay, if it goes to court, if they get the evidence to convict you. It's not going to happen. Now, I don't condone breaking the law at all. If you need a TV licence, then by all means go out and get one. If you watch live TV, or if you do what it says on these letters, then go out and get one. But if you somehow wind up in court being charged with not having a TV licence when you needed one, you're a fucking idiot, really, aren't you? One, for not having one in the first place, and they're not that expensive as things go. You know, not compared to, say, like, your energy bill. Thanks, Liz Truss. Getting annoyed with myself now. But also, even if you were, say, breaking the law, they rely on you answering the door, talking to them, inviting them in, giving them all the evidence. You know, if you just shut the fuck up like you're supposed to do and just shut the door, yeah, they're not going to know anything. And the chances are, the people that are breaking the law and know it, know not to talk to them. It'd be the people that, you know, they coax into saying something to incriminate themselves. They're not doing anything wrong, but, you know, they'll say the wrong thing to one of these salesmen that they send around, and then that gives them the evidence that they need. The evidence, everything you say will be used against you, and all that jazz. So, yeah, they're bigging it up. But yeah, if you manage to get a conviction for under TV licensing law, you're a fucking idiot. Anyway. The same applies if you're caught downloading or watching BBC programmes on iPlayer. Yeah, it does. They expanded this because when iPlayer came out, the TV licence only covered live TV. And, yeah, what people were doing was binning their TV licence and then just watching everything on iPlayer. And it was a loophole, and they closed that now. So, yeah, if you watch anything on iPlayer, you need a TV licence as well. But, again, if you are caught... So they're going to come out and see you doing it. So, whatever. I think there may be something more complex to that, although I haven't heard of any cases going to court over this yet. But when you try to use iPlayer, you have to create an account and sign in with it. And one of the things that they ask you for is your address. Now, I, for obvious reasons, I don't have a TV licence, don't have an account. But, yeah, presumably, if you sign up using an address that doesn't have a TV licence, well, that's going to be far stronger evidence than any of these so-called enforcement officers can gather against you, surely. I mean, that's electronic evidence, that's, you know, whatever. Yeah, I would have thought that would be far stronger, but I've yet to find any cases where someone's, you know, been taken to court and convicted because they signed up using an address that didn't have a licence at it, and then used iPlayer, because presumably they know what you're watching. Then we'll say, well, this person signed up with this, and they watched, I don't know, they watched Strictly Come Dancing 400 times, and A, that's illegal, they don't have a licence, and B, what the hell is wrong with them? But, yeah, so that bit is true, but again, you could face a fine. Again, it's designed to intimidate, and it's wrong, and it's infuriating, and it seems to be legally sanctioned by the government and the BBC. Yeah, I make these videos partly because these letters I find amusing, partly because they infuriate me. I picture someone like my late grandmother, after my granddad died, getting a letter like this and being absolutely terrified of it. And it's just wrong. It's sickening. Anyway, let's carry on with it. So, we've covered this. I'll work out the maths on this. If they visit an address every 10 seconds, I don't know, does that work out to 5,000 a day? Oh, fucking no. What is that? That's like 6 a minute then, isn't it? So, 6 a minute, if they're in 60 minutes an hour, that's 360 an hour, and I don't know. I don't really know how they get to 5,000. Yeah. So to do 5,000, if you're doing 360 hours, 360 an hour, you have to do. Oh bollocks! Fucking cunt. Fucking fat fingers. Just press reset. It was 13.8 recurring, like that is what it said. Are they working nearly 14 hours a day? Maybe. I don't know. If they do visit morning, afternoon, evening, then maybe they are. I don't think any one person is doing that. At least I hope not. As much as I don't like these so-called enforcement officers, no one deserves to be treated like shit by their employer. So, you know, if you're being forced to work 14 hours a day nearly, you know, to get round these bloody addresses and get your sales in, maybe it's time you look for a new job. Yeah, and I'm sorry if that is the case, because, yeah, no one deserves to be treated like that. But, yeah, I don't know, maybe they're... would it surprise you if they're exaggerating that figure? Wouldn't surprise me at all. Anyway, so it's kind of stop a visit before it's too late. Again, too late for what? I mean, too late for what? Too late to stop your conviction? Too late before the boys come round? What are they going to do? Again, before it's too late. Intimidation. Just... And we've covered that. That just tells you what to do under different circumstances. For any help with the above, please call. Again, don't call them. The calls won't be recorded. It's the same as talking to someone at your door. Don't call them. Because they are the same people. It's not like these guys are out to get you and these are here to help you. It's the same people. Chances are they'll, you know, do a stint out on the streets and then a stint in the call centre, and some will prefer the one to the other, you know. They're there to trip you up and get you to say something, and then they'll either say, oh, well, you have to buy a licence, or, well, we're going to send you off to court now, and all this lot. Just don't ring them. It will be the same intimidation and pushy tactics. Do not ring them, you know, for Christ's sake. So I'll turn over for more information. We'll have a look at the back in a minute as well. If you do not do any of the above, you can expect the boys to come round soon. Again, just fuck off. Just fucking do one. And then, yeah, we've already covered this stuff down here. They've done it again, though, as well. Look, please do not write below this line. So I've just wrote, penis. Why not? Bollocks to you. Alright, so that's it. And like I said, I thought this was the same as the last letter that I got, but it's not. It's actually very different. It's just that a lot of the wording is the same. You've got this freaking stamp down here. It's the same, you know, the same signature. I'm going to Google this name. I mean, there's probably a lot of Scott Robsons out there, but I wonder if Scott Robson is the enforcement officer for everywhere. I bet he isn't the enforcement officer for Cambridge. I bet he probably doesn't even exist. But, you know, he's like also the enforcement officer for Glasgow and Birmingham and just whatever town they've decided to automatically generate and stick down. But anyway, let's turn it over. Now, I apologise, that's where the permanent markers come through the paper. Yeah, it also got onto the envelope as well. Never mind. This is the same as last time. At least I think it is anyway. That's all right, let me have a quick look. Right, yeah, it is. The back of it is exactly the same. Chances are they probably buy their paper with this pre-printed on it, and then they just feed it into a laser printer the same way. Either that or it's just always printed the same way. This back bit hasn't changed, so we'll have a look at it anyway, because not everyone's going to have seen the last video that I did on this. So yeah, how to stop this enforcement visit, sales call. Go to tvl.co.uk/pay or call that number. It's the same number, but interestingly different web address. Don't know why, but whatever. You can pay for your license in one go or spread the cost with one of our direct debit options. Go to again, different web address, tvl.co.uk/ways to pay. Ways to pay isn't one of the three on here, but you notice these are all tvlicensing.co.uk. These back here are tvl.co.uk. I'm sure it probably just diverts when you punch the wrong one in, but whatever. If you prefer, you can pay in cash at any PayPoint store using a TV licensing payment card. They're the ones with the sort of yellow logo where you can like top up your mobile or pay your electric bills and such like. You find them in like newsagents and things like that. Call, different number to apply for yours. Payments start from £6 a week in the Channel Islands or Isle of Man. Pay to post office instead. Yeah, £6 a week. It's just, yeah, I'm going to look up the maths on that. We'll tag it on at the end. Moving existing life, if you have one, yeah, tvl.co.uk/moving, which, yeah, /moving, but different start. Or tell us you don't need one, tvl.co.uk/no TV. Again, yeah, no TV, but different address. So that's certainly interesting. Maybe once I've done recording this bit, I'll go and play around with their website and see if you put in TVL, does it divert to TV licensing? I suspect it probably will. So, yeah, if you or anyone else never, it just tells you what you need to do. We may check this with a visit. So even if you tell them, they're still threatening to send the boys round. And interestingly, this phone number to tell them you don't need a new license is the same as if you need to buy one. I mean, what does that tell you? You're going to get there and then you're like, oh, right, yeah, let me take your address, so that's going to be this much. Well, how can you pay that? And it's like, oh, sorry, no, I don't need one. Oh, no, we think you do. You know, they're going to be pushy and, yeah. It's just, yeah, I don't... Yeah, the fact that it's the same number tells you what it's going to be like if you ring them to tell me you don't need a licence. Don't ring them. I mean, you don't even have to communicate with them at all. If you want to tell them, fine. I mean, it does seem to stop the letters, at least for a short time, but not permanently, as I found out a few years ago. But yeah, do it online. Don't ever call them. Because you just... Yeah, when you're dealing live with another human being, it's so much easier for them to pile the pressure on. But yeah, even if you do tell them, say, we may check this with a visit. Fuck off. You should also tell us if this property is unoccupied. Yeah, because you don't need a licence if the property isn't occupied. Because, well, you only need a licence if you're watching live TV, and if there's no one in the property, then who's watching it? A mouse? Good luck getting a mouse to buy a TV licence, although they'll probably still try and send it a fucking letter. Wankers. About your TV licence. When do you need a TV licence? You must have one if you or anyone living at this address watch or record TV live on any channel or download or watch BBC programmes on BBC iPlayer. It goes on. You need a licence even if you access BBC iPlayer through another provider such as Freeview Box, Sky, Virgin Media, BT or Amazon. This applies to all devices including a TV, computer, laptop, tablet, mobile phone, games console, digital box, this got me last time, DVD or VHS recorder. It's the law. Now that bit is all true. Yeah, that perfectly outlines when you need a TV licence. Really? Yeah, a VHS recorder with the ability to access iPlayer. I will believe it when I see it. A DVD recorder or player, you know, a late model one, yeah, I could believe that. Digital TV was a thing, so it may have built-in Freeview. Yeah, you know, there was some overlap in the technology. DVDs was still a thing when streaming services were coming in, so... But VHS definitely was not. DVD came along and it took VHS out into the woods and shot it. So it is not a thing. So yeah, if someone has a VHS recorder that can access the internet and access things like BBC iPlayer or, you know, Netflix or anything, let me know. Make a video of it. Or if you don't want it anymore, I'll have it off you. I want to see that thing. So yeah. Next bit. What does live TV mean? Any program you watch or record at the same time as it's been shown on TV or stream live on an online service such as iPlayer, ITV Hub, All4 or Sky Go. And last time I said, I didn't know that you could get live TV through these things. iPlayer, I know you can. Sky Go, I believe you can. I've never tried Sky, I don't intend to. ITV Hub and All 4, I mean, I've never used ITV Hub. ITV have even less to offer me than the BBC do, if I'm perfectly honest. All 4 I've used quite a lot in the past. Big fan of the In-Betweeners, for example. I've never seen anything live on there, but then again, I haven't looked recently. But, apparently you can. Apparently these will now show you live TV. There's other ones like Channel 5 have their own one, presumably that can do the same. Live TV also includes any +1 channel that rebroadcasts program an hour later. Yeah, because whilst it is delayed, it's still as it's being broadcast. So, yeah. Again, that's all true. That's fine. And then this is the weird thing. We looked at this last time. What does on-demand mean? Any program you download or watch that is not being shown as live TV. On-demand includes catch-up TV. These programs can be accessed on a website or through an app on a smart TV, digital box or any other device. On-demand can also include exclusive programs that are only available online. Now, we remarked on how weird this was, because on-demand is not mentioned anywhere else in this letter, front or back, and it just feels stuck in there. It's almost like they wanted an extra bit, but they couldn't fit it all on the page, so they cut it out, and this is just left over. They're careful to leave out the bit that says you don't need a TV license for on-demand. You don't need it for Netflix or Amazon Prime or any of the other streaming services, as long as they're not showing anything live to you. If you go on and want to watch Lord of the Rings on demand, that's fine to do. It's almost like that was included, says you don't need a TV license for this. Oh, wait, no, we want to buy one. Take that bit out. Leave the rest in. It just feels very out of place. I don't know why they've put that there. The bit that they're missing out is that you don't need a license for it. And they've obviously just left that bit out on purpose. But I don't know, maybe they were told they had to put that in to define it to people, because that's whatever. I don't care. I mean, I would say, yeah, for these two, yeah, you do need a license. For that, you definitely do not. And then helpful information. This is the same as last time. Would you like it in a more accessible format? You can have it in Braille, large print, or audio. I've yet to actually try and ask for it in any of these things. But yeah, again, this is the same phone number as their sales line. Again, so, I mean, do you really want to be ringing that number? If you're deaf, hard of hearing or speech impaired, we provide relay assistance services. That's things like the text phones and all that jazz. And yeah, tvl.co.uk/accessibility. Could you get a concession? Are you or is someone you live with blind? You get a 50% concession, 75 or over, and receiving pension credits. I bet they're dying to take that off. There's been talk for years of making pensioners pay their TV license again. It used to be that if you were of state pension age, you didn't have to pay your TV license, and then they upped it to 75, and now you have to receive pension credit as well. Yeah, they're slowly making pensioners pay for it, which, again, not all pensioners are poor. Pensioners does not mean poor person. There are some very rich pensioners out there, and if I'm honest, they should pay for it. But then again, there are some people which will receive their state pension, this pension credit. Maybe it's the same thing, I don't know. And that's all they get. They shouldn't be paying. That's not fair. Yeah, anyway, that's just my thoughts on making pensioners pay the TV licence. Maybe it should be means tested. If you're of state pension age, maybe it should be means tested. How much is your income from your pension? Like I said, there are a lot of rich pensioners out there. Yeah, anyway. So to apply for a concession, yeah, tvl.co.uk/concessions, or phone their sales line again. The more I sit here and think about it, I think this number here that's different is probably going to be an automated payment line. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and you never actually get to talk to someone unless something goes really wrong. But this just seems to be their general sales line, which again, I don't recommend you call, but, whatever. And yeah, for help in these languages, visit tvl.co.uk/languages. I may do, if I get chance, see if I can request this letter in all of these languages. Get them all, and then we'll run them all back through Google Translate and see if there's any any obvious differences in them. That will be quite... And we'll get it in Welsh as well, because why not? You know what? I mean, we could order it in Braille just for the giggles. I mean, I don't read Braille because I'm not blind. So, I mean, yeah, we'll probably get it and not really know what it says. We'll get it in large print, and you know what? We'll get an audio recording as well, shall we? We'll sit and have a listen to it. All right. Anyway, I'm getting off track, and we'll do that eventually. I've got other things I want to be recording in the meantime, but yeah, we'll do that eventually. TV license, including the baby, that's the same as last time. Yeah, you know, we'll use the details you provide to operate the TV license system and will not give them to anyone else unless required or permitted to do so by law. I mean, it's interesting. The BBC are a data controller. You know, I wonder if I wrote to them and said, take my address out of your database, they would actually do it. Probably not. They'd probably just, you know, they'd probably just delay the letters for like 6 months and then they'd start sending me some more because they're wankers like that. To find out more about how we keep your data safe, go to tvl.co.uk/privacy policy. Also, if I ask them to delete it, I won't get any more letters. I'll get fewer letters, which I don't want because people seem to like me reading these letters out. Alright, so that's it. That's my second TV licensing letter. I feel like I've gone on a bit more about this one than I did the last one, but I mean, you know, I've had more time to think about this one, and yeah, it is different. Well, it looks different. I mean, the other one had, you know, the big red box at the top. Enforcement visit authorised. We're coming to get you. This one seems a bit softer. You know, we haven't got the red envelope. We've got the brown one on, yeah, sustainably sourced or recycled paper. Well, can't fault them for that. I'm doing something right, at least. And that's precisely where it's going back to, in the recycling bin. But, you know, whatever. You can get the little thing, have you moved? I don't... Why would that be there if the letter's in the way? Who's going to... Oh, fuck it. I don't care. But, yeah, it appears to be a bit softer. I mean, it's interesting that the first one was really hard. You had all the red and the red envelope and investigations and enforcement and breaking your legs and... You know, this one seems a bit soft, almost like they picture your little old lady, your grandmother, getting the first one, panicking like mad, but then ultimately not doing anything about it. Maybe just thinking if she ignores it, it'll go away. Again, that is a coping mechanism that some people have when they're faced with this level of stress, that this is trying to inflict on them. So they've gone in with something a bit softer, but it's still quite threatening. Will you be in on this day? Because that's when we're coming for you. As there is no record, you should expect a visit. It could be on this day, or it could be at any time, day or night. It's just, yeah. Like I said earlier, it may be peculiar that you need a license for a television. You know, you're not driving a car or operating machinery or buying a gun or anything. It may be peculiar if you're outside of the UK that you need a license for a television. And when you say it like that, it is quite weird. But if you're in the UK, this isn't that unusual. Everyone's heard of the TV license. If you need one, if you do watch, you know, the BBC, and I'm not going to hold it against you, they do occasionally do good stuff. It's just that it's nothing that I want to see. Or if you watch any other programme live, if you need one, then get one. They're not all that expensive. I mean, they are if you pay them weekly or monthly, but, you know, if you pay them in one go, they're not that bad, really. And you do get access to a lot of content. I mean, there's not just 5 channels anymore like there was when I was growing up. There's hundreds if you've got a Freeview box, so that you'll never be short of anything to watch. But if you don't need one, or if you are so hard up that you can't afford one, this is terrible. It's just awful. I have known plenty of pensioners who, they may well own a television, although a lot don't. They don't need a TV licence. They much prefer listening to the radio. They want to put Radio 4 on, listen to the Archers, or when he was still alive, they'd have Terry Wogan on in the morning. They love that sort of thing. But they'd just be constantly harassed by and it's harassment. Or it's the police abusing power's favourite term, you know, harassment, alarm and distress, you know. But of course, you know, the police don't want to tackle stuff like this. They'd much rather pull you over for going 1 mile an hour above the speed limit or swearing in public and having a camera in public. That makes you a terrorist, but that's a rant for another day. But yeah, it just, like I said, I think about my late grandmother when she was living alone after my granddad died, getting something like this and being absolutely terrified, just going into a panic over it, because she really struggled, and it sickens me. It really is just disgusting. So, yeah, we're going to call that it, because I'm just going to keep going on and on and on about this. But before we do that, we're going to give it the usual treatment. So we have to all of TV licensing. There we go. Rip it up. Give me it one more. Oh, there we go. We shall pop it back in their envelope. That goes for recycling. Because that's just the best thing you can do with these people. Don't engage. Just tear up their letters. Put them in the recycling. Don't put them in your black bin. That's just irresponsible. Oh, get them in the recycling. Because then it'll be turned into more paper, and then they can send you another letter. If you really want to get back at them, though, you can just draw childish penis on it as well, though. God damn, I'm a child. Right, that's it. That's enough. Thank you for watching.